Welcome to episode 42 of The Solution, a real estate podcast. Today, this is actually the podcast that Jeff Seabach and myself, Phil Sexton, host. And our tagline is that it's time to put the consumer first in real estate. And so we have been sharing tactics, we've been sharing ideas, things that we do to put the consumer first. And we've gone out there and we have looked for other people in the industry that are putting the consumer first as well. And that's how we came across today's guest. His name is Dan Noma Jr. Welcome to the party, Dan. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, of course, I just have a couple of things to get everybody up to speed on your resume, if you will. And I know that Seabach is going to update me as I go.
Nice.
But welcome to the party as well, Jeff.
Here, thank you.
Back all right. So everybody can see all of us.
All right, there we go.
All right, so Dan Noma Jr. is currently the designated broker, right, for Venture REI.
Yep.
That is, you've been a top 5 agent from the Phoenix Business Journal's list from 2013, 2014.
And last year, we were fighting to be the number one team or number one agent, all that stuff. So when I logged on to, because I view the Cromford Report as an independent party, similar to like the Business Journal, because there's a lot of fake awards in the real estate world where we can buy, when an agent buys an award, I don't know if that counts, but
you can't buy the Business Journal.
You can't buy Michael Orr's Cromford Report because he just takes all the data out of MLS and then uploads it, and he's a mathematician by trade, so we trust his source. And excluding builders, Dan Noma Jr. was ahead of me. I thought I was going to be up there, but nuh-uh. This guy was. So we're like, got to get him on, find out what he's doing, because I know very little about Venture REI. And then we went to this like big event that Fidelity went on. And of course, then Dan speaking at that event. So
we were actually on a whole panel together, right? The three of us and Kenny and Steve was there as well, Steve Trang.
So now you tell us what.
So wait a minute. Also, a couple other stats is that Venture REI partnered with Zome, or there's a relationship with Zome.com, which is online platform. And I know that Superseller Arizona is a part of it. Hopefully we'll get to learn more about what that is from you today.
Okay. Sounds good.
Awesome. So where should we start?
Why don't you tell us about what he wants the world to know about him, and then we'll get into our consumer-based questions later on.
All right, got it. So Venture itself, it's started this one in about 2010. So we're almost 9 years old now. We've got about 150 agents in the Valley, 6 offices around. And primarily our work's really been in the investment space. So, I've actually never sold a home to someone that lives in the home. They all are investors, at least my clients are. A lot of our agents work with people that would live in the home or, are buying the home for themselves. But my clients traditionally have been hedge funds, private equity groups, institutions, things like that. And so we've done a lot of these like acquisitions for your giant Wall Street REITs that come into town. So they'll come in and they'll say, hey, I want to buy 2,000 homes and I want to rent them at this yield. And so our group's really good on the finance side. So I always tell people I'm a nerd first and a real estate guy second. And so we really focus on our financial wherewithal in the space and really understanding, not only residential investment, but commercial investment. We kind of jump from residential into some retail and commercial and office. But these institutions hired us to do a lot of their acquisitions because we can speak both languages. Like we understand from the Wall Street world and finance and how these guys are actually functioning on the back end, to kind of down in the trenches, working with an agent on their listing of their mom's house or their friend and family's home, and having those conversations, across the board in one office is kind of interesting. So we're dealing with, the Wall Street guy and the mom and pop on the other end. And so that's led us to a bunch of different opportunities. I did a lot of short sale, a lot of REO. And so that's what led us to working with Zome, which you guys probably want to get into.
Yep.
Zome's really a platform where, we've just kind of looked at the commission suppression that we're having as an industry. And okay, how do we keep the consumer happy and still get paid? And how do we do these deals and make sure that we're doing our job and we're getting enough money to do that? So this concept came about. Noma is really a NationStar company, so it's owned by NationStar Mortgage. And so NationStar today, I think, is the second largest servicer in the country for mortgages. So they've got a deep database, and they said, okay, what if we took the commissions and flipped them? Instead of saying the seller's going to pay them, we'll say the buyer's going to pay them. So I always use
Yeah, I mean
That's huge.
When we were doing our research, it was because one of the things that we brought up in the past was, or we were looking for, is will lenders finance buyer side paid commission?